Andrew, where can the people read more about the lawsuit that this poor victim, Shirley Sherrod, the lawsuit that she inflicted on the government, the settlement? I understand it was something like $9 million that was dispersed, and she got a piece of it, and then they gave her a job. Where is all of this written? Where do we get the whole story on that?
Well, it's about 13. All you have to do is type in Pigford, Pigford, into Google, Pigford settlement, and it's a very big story that we're just starting to get our hands around because everybody is sending emails saying, I can't believe you guys stumbled upon this massive story. So we're just getting our hands around this thing. But this speaks to the redistributive change that Barack Obama intimated. And think about this. They just pulled out that $1.5 billion last week while all of this was happening from a military bill. And I don't know if this is the case, but imagine this.
Wait, you're saying they removed the $1.5 billion out of the military budget after the story broke?
With a lot of other non-military funds, so it wasn't the only thing. It's not as clean as it appears. But think about this. The Barack Obama was elected on an anti-war platform.
Right.
But now you have the Democrats going along with military spending of epic proportion to fight the war in Afghanistan.
Right.
How do they do it? In my estimation, they hide this redistribution into military bills to get Republicans to sign on.
Right. All the anti-war leftists like Boxer got pork on the side along with spending for the war, which nobody knows why we are there. We're speaking with Andrew Breitbart. Again, if you have a quick comment, keep it to yourself. If you have a quick question, call 1-800-449-8255. It's the Savage Nation. Back in a minute.
Savage.
So the far left wing of the National Socialist Party has taken over the United States of America. It's called the Democrats under Pelosi and Reid, Boxer, Feinstein, Franken. And their playbook includes dirty tricks, dismissing any criticism, no matter how legitimate, as illegitimate, categorizing anyone who opposes their policies as racist. We've seen it all. It started in the 1960s at the universities, which have become nothing but institutions of lower living. And now we're seeing the White House, which is actually an extension of the universities rather than anything else. It's as though we're all living in one big university where the lie, the big lie, is spread every day by the White House and the government media complex. And standing against this big lie has been talk radio, the Internet, and, of course, Andrew Breitbart is in the eye of the hurricane. He's joining us now again on the Savage Nation. Andrew, welcome back to the program. I understand you're going to be speaking very shortly with the National Association of Black Journalists. Tell us about that.
I'm going to San Diego because I'm not hiding from my critics. If I have nothing to hide here, I can prove to people that the reason why this is happening is because I dared to stand up to the fake allegation that the N-word was said. I initially was hurled at multiple black congressmen the day before the health care bill was passed. And so at first...
Hold it. I want to make it clear. You said, of course, there was no N-word. It's all invention. I want to make that clear.
Well, the way these guys were hogging the cameras and the mainstream media was playing up the false allegation, and the Tea Party had to go on the defensive again. When did you stop beating your... But,
Andrew, back in the 1960s, when the military was recruiting on campuses, the left were using a tactics well known to the communists called agent provocateurs. I'm sure you're familiar with that, where the opposition takes a position opposite to what they actually believe in order to embarrass their political enemies. So if there was an N-word thrown around here and there, or there is a poster or something derogatory towards Obama that may be marginally racist, you can bet your boots it's the Democrats themselves who are doing it, Andrew.
Well, I can prove that. John Podesta, who is my mortal enemy. Are you hearing me, John? This guy runs Think Progress, and he took videos of a plant of a person who infiltrated a Tea Party trying to, claim that he was a Nazi and a racist, and he was escorted out by Tea Party people who saw that this was an obvious plant. They escorted him out. Think Progress, which is John Podesta's operation, edited out the part where he was taken out as a means to cleverly and mischievously and evilly show that the Tea Party is racist. So when these people are telling me that editing stuff online, I didn't edit it, is the worst thing that you can do. These people were able to create the false impression that that Tea Party person was a racist when it was a left-wing.
But Andrew, John Podesta set up a group that attacked Michael Savage by sending edited tapes of mine to England and getting me banned in a Western nation. I have been the first victim of these vermin, Andrew, and I'm not going to be the last. They proudly said they were going to go after talk radio, and they came after me, but I don't want to make this about me. I know who John Podesta is. He's a very good friend of Hillary Clinton. They're very good friends of Media Matters. They're all supported by George Soros. You know all of this, Andrew.
John Podesta, all you have to know is he's the architect. George Soros throws the money, and it's John Podesta who organizes it all and figures out where he can propagandize and misdirect and try and marginalize those people that would disagree with their radical plans.
Right. It's a standard tactic of the illegitimate left. I understand it. Andrew, when do you speak to the National Association of Black Journalists, and how do you think you're going to be received by them?
I'm going to come in there with a warm feeling that I am telling the truth and that I have nothing to hide. And I have asked that all they do is offer me a 3-minute video where I can show them beyond a shadow of a doubt that I didn't just raise doubts by asking for a $100,000 reward, offering a $100,000 reward for any evidence that the N-word was said once, let alone 15 times, which is what Congressman Carson said. I was able to go out there and find 4 separate videos from the exact moment in time, and the videos prove conclusively that the yarn that was spun by Congressman Carson is a falsehood that was meant to demean and marginalize and slander a goodly portion.
And I hear, Andrew, I know you are right. I know there were no racists there that were part of the actual Tea Party. I know that for a fact. But, Andrew, they have made you into the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. They made her into Rosa Parks, so be careful.
Savage.
Welcome back to the Savage Nation. We're living through very, very interesting times where a group of National Socialists have taken over the country under the guise of being for the poor and the downtrodden, flying around in Air Force One, Air Force Two, Air Force Three, Gulfstream 5, Gulfstream 550, all the while ripping off the middle class, all the while robbing the Treasury, all the while raping the culture, all the while melting the borders down, all the while not defending the culture. And right now you have a very small army of intellectuals or operatives, if you want to call us that. You can call us anything you want, but get it right. We are the patriots and the enemies of our country. Now, Matt Drudge, in my opinion, is the Hearst of our time. Breitbart is the Pulitzer of our time. And Michael Savage is the Oliver Wendell Holmes of our time. And you are the Americans of our time. And I'm inviting you to call right now to speak to Andrew Breitbart, who is at the center of the hurricane. The phone number is 1-800-449-8255. Let's make it real fast. This is not a hello, how are you? It's not a meet and greet. This is a quick question and off the air. Bernie in New York, WOR, go ahead, please.
Yeah, hi, Michael. I'd like to ask Andrew if he agrees with my take on this, and I'll make it brief. It's beyond doubt that a lot of people, a lot of African Americans have voted for Mr. Obama because they wanted to see a black person as president of the United States. It's understandable. Now, the Democratic Party and the White House were afraid that these...
Bernie, please don't give us your analysis. Question, please.
Okay. Do you think the White House and the Democrats are trying to inject a racial element to get this block of people to the polls for the midterm elections when they're...
All right, so in other words, they're trying to re-excite the base of African-American voters. Is that what you're asking, Bernie? Thank you for the call. Andrew, what do you think?
Of course, that's what the ploy is. That's what we're trying to point out here, and that Mary Frances Berry, the black civil rights leader who is appointed by Carter and Clinton, says it as much. He says that they don't want to have to answer to questions about the economy, so it's better to have your opponent have to answer whether or not you're a racist or not. And so Barack Obama is trying to be the post-racial president by acting like he's above it all and that he doesn't talk about race. But he has proxy groups. He's got the SEIU, he's got ACORN, he's got the NAACP, he's got the Congressional Black Caucus. These people will hurl the accusation of racism if you walk across the street the wrong way.